Hello and welcome to the channel. I am no longer a single take guy. This is the second time I've done this video. The first time it bit me whilst doing it. Only a little cut, but there was quite a bit of blood. I tried to compose myself and it didn't really work. I wasn't going to post it because it was quite funny, but it's not really doing the knife justice. So I've got a lot of respect for this company here. They've got a really rich history. And one that's worth sort of researching, and there's a lot of stuff on YouTube about Robeson. Some of the channels that I've seen some quality stuff on there is Apostle Pete did like a 30-minute video, an in-depth dive on Robeson, which is brilliant, well worth a watch. Warthog is a fountain of knowledge and has some brilliant knives and has a brilliant Robeson collection. Rasputin's Castle, he's got some fine pieces that are in really good condition. Hobie's. So one of the things Robeson was really famous for was their strawberry bone, and he's got a camp knife in that. Still looks beautiful even for the age, but imagine when they first came out. God damn. But yeah, so anyway, getting a bit excited. It's a company to get excited about. It's so rich in history. And a lot of, I think from sort of 1910s to sort of 1930s were considered the best pocket knife in the world, and they've just got such an amazing history, really. So let's just talk about this knife, and then we'll talk a bit about the history and talk a bit about bits and pieces of the company maybe. But I want to talk about this particular knife. This is the only Robeson I've got. Hopefully I'll have some more. So this is called the Flame Edge, and I'm hoping you guys in the comments will be able to help me out with this. So in 1955, I think it was, my notes are all over the place, so I'm hoping I've got that right. 1955, they did sort of like a flame edge, and it was like a carbine, let me see if I can get this right, a carbine side of it. So it was essentially like a carbine on one side, and then I cannot find my, so I'll have to try and freewheel again. But yeah, so it had a carbine on one side, like a tungsten carbide applied to one side of the blade, and that you sort of sharpened on the side that did not have that carbine. So it was quite a unique method of doing it, and of manufacturing, and that's what this company was all about. They did some really innovative things. And a lot of that we can probably owe to a Case. So Emerson Case, obviously of the Case family, ran this company for quite a big period of its history and did a lot of amazing things with it. But yeah, so I believe this might be one of them. So yeah, can you see that edge? And it was more prominent obviously back in the day. When I cut myself, I tried to get this knife out and push myself onto this blade here. So yeah, it's razor sharp. But yeah, there's a special way of sort of sharpening it. I think what a lot of people did when they bought these, and they had this special, all the details were in the sheet, but obviously, not being sexist here, but a lot of men don't read instructions, do they? And chucked a lot of the valuable information on how to sharpen it. So you sort of only sharpen it on one side. But yeah, a cool way of doing things. A lot of things we can owe to them. They did the cryogenic sort of freezing process of the heat treatment. They were the first ones to do that. It's got brilliant walk and talk, this. So that cryogenic freezing, basically heat treat, you sort of heat it and then you quench it, don't you, in oil. But that quenching process sometimes doesn't get the desired sort of end product. So what they did, they then froze it for a few hours to finish off the quenching process. And these guys were the first people to do that. So I mean, they did bearings in the washers, so we have that to owe for them. All you modern guys, they did some really brilliant things within the time of their running. They did a lot of stuff for the military, and a lot of that contracts went out to a lot of other companies, but a lot of the, if you talk to any of the military guys or you read any of the bits, they really loved the Robeson stuff. The Robeson stuff was sort of like a cut above the rest, excuse the pun, but they're just a phenomenal company to sort of learn about. But yeah, Emerson Case, massive part in the company, and he did some incredible things. He was a bit of a workaholic, which I think all the Case guys probably were, and that's why they were so successful. But how the company came around, I think Camillus, it was somebody probably, you'd have to go, I'll tell you what, Apostle P is probably, because he does the full history. So I've like dibbed and dabbed into it, and obviously I want to research it a bit more myself. But so check the Strawberry Bone out. The Strawberry Bone and the jigging. They were renowned for their jigging. One of the best jigging jiggers jiggers in the cutlery trade. But that's the tang stamp. So this dates. So my one dates. Let's have a look. I think it's 19. So this was like considered like the last true Robesons. So this tang stamp is 1940 to 1965. 1940 to 1964. So the Perry plant closed in 1965, and anything after that, any Robeson after that, is considered not a proper Robeson. So I think this was like the last one. So what I'll do, I'll put a link to a history page that tells you a lot about the companies, and then it's a brief, but it shows you the tang stamp, it sort of ages and a bit of a history of the company itself. But brilliant company to. So let's have a look at this as well. So this is how they do their tang stamps to identify the knives. Now, does this look familiar? I think GEC, Bill Howard might have copied this, and fair play to him, because it was sort of a renowned tang stamp identification system that was like, you know, really renowned and really well thought of. But GEC improved it because they put the date on theirs as well on the end. So it's a 6-digit, sometimes a 5-digit, if it was a low pattern number. So the first 3 digits is sort of like the manufacturer of the knife itself. So, and then the last 3 digits is the type, sort of like the pattern. So if I look at my notes, so the first digit is the handle material, the second digit is the number of blades, and the third digit is the bolster and liners. So, and then the last 3 digits will be the pattern or the type. So I think it ranged from sort of like 1 to 900. But then when you look in the history, they did something like 1,200 knife patterns. So, but yeah, really good company to sort of delve into the history of them, and they did a lot for all of us, really, that are like into their traditionals today. So we owe them a lot, really, and hopefully we'll get a lot more of these knives. So this is a 2-bladed jackknife. It's your standard sort of brass liners, nickel silver bolsters. But yeah, I'd like a bit more information on the blade steel, and if this is an actual flame edge one with that carbide, tungsten carbide applied, so that would be cool to know. It's held up really well. Evie, come on, mate. I'm trying to do a video here, mate. So I think I cut myself as well. So the missus is at work. I'm here with the kids. We've just been on a big dog walk. So trying to tire them out. You know what it's like. So, but the fit and finish is brilliant. I'm really, really impressed with it. Hopefully I have more. Is there anything more I can say? I did research it quite a bit, and I'm a bit all over the place, and obviously I should have probably kept that one, because it would have been quite funny as well. But I think I'm a proper knife YouTuber now that I've cut myself. So, but yeah, brilliant. There's something called the golden era of cutlery, and research it. So it was a period of time when they were absolutely manufacturing millions of knives. And Robeson was around in that golden era, and they were producing something ridiculous like 1.5 million a year of traditional brilliant pieces of cutlery. So just, you know, really enjoyed learning about this brand, really enjoyed owning this, and sort of, you know, once you've got one in hand as well, and you can see what you've got to remember is this is the fit and finish of a knife and the age of it. So I always think, imagine what this was like when it was first put together, and how nice it would have been. Like when I seen Hobie's Strawberry Bone camp knife. It's obviously really pocket worn now, like naturally pocket worn. But imagine what that was like when it was first made. So yeah, go check out those other channels. Like I say, Warthog's got some real good pieces. Rasputin Castle's got some really good pieces, and I'm a young guy. I'm going to catch these guys up one day and hopefully have a nice little collection of Robesons. But you know, they're just, so the brief history of them, they started in 1894 and they closed in 1977. So like I say, Camilla sort of started them. In some respects, I think the guy worked briefly for Camillus and had set up, and then they bought them out at the end. And then when they bought them out, Camillus did some replicas of them, but people don't, you know, collectors don't consider them Robesons. And also Queen did some sort of replicas of them. But I think Queen, GC, they probably look at these and have copied many of their patterns and their style and stuff. And this might be old news to you, but you know, I'm just starting out in this thing, so it's all new and exciting to me. And you know, I hope somebody out there found this slightly interesting and enjoyed it. But anyway, I'm doing an American sort of series this week, doing American-made knives, and I couldn't think of a better brand to start off with. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, thanks.